The Journey to Moonbridge Valley, a long, gentle story for deep sleep. Far beyond the bright lights of crowded cities, past winding roads and fields that most travelers never notice, there was a quiet place hidden in a soft curve of the world. This place was called Moonbridge Valley. Moonbridge Valley was not large, and it was not famous. No busy markets filled its paths, no towers scraped its sky. Instead, it was made of smaller, quieter things: rounded hills, slow-moving water, and air that always seemed to carry the hush of evening. The valley was held like a bowl between low, old mountains, their gentle slopes covered with moss, ferns, and soft pines. In the center of the valley, a calm river wound its way from one end to the other. People who had seen it long ago called it the Lunaris Stream. During the day, it looked like any peaceful river. But at night, when the moon rose high and full, the water glowed with a faint silver shine, as if starlight had melted and settled into its current. On one side of this valley, near a bend in the Lunaris Stream, where the water grew especially slow and shallow, there stood a small, round cottage with a thatched roof and soft light in its windows. In that cottage lived a gentle wanderer named Eris. Eris was not famous either. She did not seek adventures or praise. Her days were simple, and that simplicity made them beautiful. In the morning, she would wake to the soft light of dawn, brew tea with herbs from her garden, and step outside to feel the cool air on her cheeks. She grew lavender, chamomile, and night-blooming jasmine, and she always made sure the plants were watered, spoken to, and appreciated. She believed that everything living in the valley liked to be noticed kindly, even if it could not speak. During the day, she walked along the river, sometimes barefoot in the grass, sometimes with boots when the earth was damp. She listened to the sound of water slipping over stones, the soft flutter of bird wings in the trees, and the sigh of the breeze passing through tall grasses. The valley did not shout. It never rushed. It murmured, hummed, whispered. At night, Eris often sat by her window with a cup of warm tea in her hands. She watched the sky darken and the first stars appear. She listened as daytime sounds grew quiet and nighttime voices woke. Crickets, owls, the distant croak of frogs along the water's edge. The world seemed to exhale, and she exhaled with it. But there was something else she listened for, something older than crickets and quieter than wind. The valley, long ago, had been known for a legend. On nights when the moon was perfectly full and bright, when its light washed softly over the hills and the slow river, a bridge was said to appear across the Lunaris Stream. It was not a bridge of wood or rope, nor of ordinary stone. It was said to be made from moonlight itself, shaped into solid form. They called it the Moon Bridge. Some said the Moon Bridge led nowhere. Some said it led to dreams. Some said that when you crossed it, you did not travel to a place on the map, but to a place inside yourself that had been waiting patiently to be found. Eris did not know which story to believe. She only knew that whenever the moon grew round and full, something inside her felt gently One evening, when the sky was melting from gold into rose, then to lavender, and finally to deep blue, she felt the tug more strongly than ever before. She stood at her small round window, hands resting loosely around a warm cup, and watched the moon rise over the mountains. It was full, perfectly round, perfectly bright. Moonlight poured down into the valley, filling every curve and hollow with silver softness. Eris set her cup down and took a slow, steady breath. Tonight, she whispered, not to anyone in particular, I will go and see. She moved quietly through her cottage, her motions unhurried. She wrapped a woolen cloak around her shoulders, comfortable and well worn, soft from many nights of use. She picked up her old lantern from its hook by the door. The lantern was made of wood and pale glass, with a small stone set at its base. A piece of moonstone crusted there long ago by someone she never met. Even unlit, the stone always seemed to hold a faint ghost of light. Eris stepped outside. The air was cool, but not cold. It wrapped around her like a fresh blanket, just shaken out over a bed. She could hear the slow whisper of the Lunaris stream in the distance, and the tiny, delicate chirps of crickets in the grass. The moon hung above the valley like a watchful eye, kind and calm. Eris began to walk. Her path to the river was familiar. She had walked it many times, past the garden where lavender swayed, past a solitary oak tree that leaned slightly toward the water, past a line of stones she herself had placed long ago to mark where the earth dipped. Her boots brushed against grass, heavy with dew. The scent of damp earth and wildflowers seeped into the air. She held her lantern loosely at her side. She had not yet lit the candle inside. For now, the moonlight was enough. As she neared the Lunaris stream, she noticed tiny glimmers above the water. At first, she thought they were stars reflected on the surface, but then she saw they were moving. They drifted in slow loops and gentle sways, rising just above the river, small balls of faint blue light, as soft as mist. Eris recognized them from old notes and quiet tales, lunar wisps. They appeared only on special nights, when stillness and moonlight met each other in perfect harmony. They were said to guide quiet-hearted travelers where they needed to go, even if the travelers themselves did not yet know where that was. Eris felt no fear, only a calm sense that she had stepped into a moment that had been waiting for her for a very long time. The wisps floated slowly downstream, forming a gentle line above the water. Eris followed them. The luminous stream flowed beside her, slow and even. The water carried reflections of the moon and of the tiny lights above it. The surface looked like a moving ribbon of silver and blue, never hurrying, never stopping. The farther she walked, the quieter everything became. Not silent, never silent, but softly blurred, as if all sounds were being wrapped in warm cloth. Her breathing fell into a comfortable rhythm, in and out, in and out. Her footsteps kept a slow pace with her breath. Finally, the silver grass ahead parted, just enough for her to see something new. There, spanning the river in a single smooth curve, stood the Moonbridge. It arched gently delicate and glowing. The bridge looked as if someone had poured moonlight into the shape of stones. Its edges were solid and soft at the same time, like something carved from light itself. Faint patterns shimmered along its surface, patterns that looked like constellations, slowly drifting across its length. Eris stopped at the foot of the bridge. She stood there without moving, letting her eyes and heart take it in. The Moonbridge hummed, not with sound exactly, but with a soft vibration that she could feel in her chest and at the soles of her feet. It felt like a welcome. She lifted her lantern, more out of habit than need. The small moonstone at its base glowed faintly in answer, as if it recognized the light. Eris placed one foot onto the first stone of the bridge. The moment her boot touched it, a soft ripple of light spread outward, like a ring in water after a pebble is dropped. Then it faded, leaving the stone glowing calmly again. She took another step, another gentle ripple, and another. Each step was slow. Each breath was even. The lunar wisps gathered around her as she walked, drifting in sleepy circles. The world beyond the Moonbridge seemed to soften at the edges, the air growing thicker with quiet. When Eris reached the center of the bridge, she stopped and looked down. The lunar stream below moved so slowly that it could almost have been still. Moonlight lay across its surface like silk. Her reflection shivered faintly in the water, joined by the lantern glow and the hovering wisps. Above, the moon shone directly overhead, like a steady, gentle eye. Eris closed her eyes for a moment. She stood there, feeling the bridge beneath her feet, the air around her, the quiet inside her. Then she opened her eyes again and walked on, step by step, crossing to the far side. When she stepped off the Moonbridge, the landscape felt different. She was still in the valley, and yet everything held a deeper hush. The light seemed to come not just from the moon above, but from the ground, from the plants, from the air itself. Spreading out before her was a vast field covered in softly glowing flowers. They were small blossoms with thin, graceful petals and leaves that held a gentle, luminescent sheen. Their colors were pale, muted silvers and blues, tinged with soft green. They shimmered quietly as they opened to the full moon. Eris had read of these in old notes too. Lumina petals, flowers that bloomed only on nights when the Moonbridge appeared. They were said to soothe the heart of anyone who walked among them. A path seemed to form naturally through the flowers, not marked by any stones or signs, but simply by the way the lumina petals leaned. They bowed gently aside, leaving a narrow strip of glowing earth for her to follow. Eris stepped carefully onto the path. The flowers swayed as she passed, brushing lightly at the edges of her cloak. Their light reflected in the glass of her lantern and in her eyes, as though she were walking through a small, private sky. At the far side of the field, she saw a tree. It was tall and wide, its trunk smooth and strong, its branches long and trailing. Each branch curved downward in arcs, forming forming soft curtains of leaves that fell toward the ground. The leaves themselves glowed gently. This was the Serenity Willow. Even from a distance, Eris could feel the quiet that flowed from it. The air around the tree looked thicker with light and stillness. It was like approaching the center of a calm thought. She walked to the base of the tree and stood for a moment, looking up at the long, swaying branches. The Serenity Willow moved slowly, though there was almost no wind. Its leaves brushed against one another with a soft, whisper-like sound. The sound was not words, but it felt like meaning. It felt like comfort. Eris lowered herself gently to the ground and sat with her back against the trunk. The bark was warm. Her lantern rested beside her, its glow blending with the soft sheen of the lumina petals and the leaves above. She let her shoulders drop. She let her jaw unclench. She let her hands rest loosely in her lap. The branches of the willow swayed overhead. The soft rustle of its leaves washed over her in slow waves, like a lullaby sung without voice. She closed her eyes. Time became broad and slow. There was no need to think of anything, no need to decide, to remember, or to plan. All the distant, unimportant worries that sometimes circled in her mind seemed unable to cross into this place. They hovered, far away, thin and fading. Here, under the Serenity Willow, there was only breath, and the feeling of the tree at her back, and the quiet sound of leaves moving gently in the moonlit air. In that quiet, she felt a presence. A voice, soft and low, rose not from any mouth she could see, but from somewhere inside the stillness itself. "Welcome, traveler," it said, without sound. "You have walked with a quiet heart. You may rest here a while." The feeling of the words flowed through her like warm tea, like bath water, like sunlight through closed eyelids. She did not answer with words. She breathed out slowly, and in that breath was gratitude. After some time that had no edges, she felt a gentle shift in the air, like a hand on her shoulder encouraging her to rise. Eris opened her eyes. The lumina petals near her feet were glowing a little brighter, as if marking a new path. The lunar wisps floated slowly in that direction, drifting like small lanterns in a stream of air. She stood, picked up her lantern, and followed. The new path led her over a small rise in the land and down into a hollow where stones had settled in a circle. At the center of the stones was a shallow pool of clear water. Its surface glowed with a soft blue light that seemed to come from deep below. This was a dream water spring. Eris approached it and knelt carefully at its edge. The water was still, so still she could see her face reflected in it. The glow underneath tinted her reflection with shades of blue and silver, making her eyes look softer, her features calmer. Then the water rippled, her reflection thinning, blurring, and then dissolving into something else. She saw images in the water, scenes that drifted slowly from one to another. She saw a much younger valley. The mountains were the same, But the trees were small, and the river seemed narrower. The moon shone just as bright, but fewer stars dotted the early sky. She saw someone walking across an earlier moon bridge, their lantern brighter than hers, their clothes shaped by another time. She felt the calm of that traveler, even though she did not know their name. She saw the serenity willow when it was just a small sapling, thin and fragile looking, yet already glowing softly into the night. She saw lumina petals blooming in small clusters, then spreading wider across the valley as the years moved gently on. These visions did not speak. They did not ask her to do anything. They were simply shown, like memories from the valley itself, offered for her to witness and then let go. When the images faded and the water became still again, Eris whispered, "Thank you." The spring rippled once, a small, satisfied shiver of light across its surface. A faint sound made her turn. At the edge of the circle of stones, standing with paws silent on the earth, was a small creature. It looked a little like a fox, but smaller and rounder. Its fur was soft and pale, as if tinted with moonlight. Its ears were short and slightly rounded, and its eyes were large, reflecting the glow of the spring. From its back trailed a long, fluffy tail, the very tip of which glowed faintly like a little star. Eris recognized it from old stories. A moon kit. The moon kit tilted its head, studying her with quiet curiosity. It took a few slow steps forward and sniffed the air around her lantern. Then it sat down, as if making a decision, and turned its head toward a narrow path that wound away from the spring. It stood again and began walking, not too fast, its glowing tail weaving softly behind it. Eris rose and followed. The moon kit led her into a grove of tall, silver-barked trees. Their trunks rose straight and smooth, and their leaves were shaped like small teardrops, each one holding a faint light in its heart. As the branches moved, those tiny lights shifted and swayed, sending soft patterns across the ground. These were the silver shadow trees, guardians of deeper stillness. The air beneath them was very quiet. The sound of the river had faded into a distant memory. Even the whispers of the wind were softer here. Eris walked slowly, her lantern swinging gently at her side, the light from its moonstone mixing with the glow from the leaves. The moon kit did not hurry. It paused every now and then to look back at her, making sure she was still there, still following, still calm. Eventually, the trees thinned, and the grove opened into a round clearing. At its center stood a crystal formation, rising from the ground like a cluster of petals carved from light. It glowed with shades of lavender, blue, and soft white, pulsing slowly, very slowly, with a rhythm that felt like a heartbeat. This was the heartstone bloom. Eris stepped forward, feeling the gentle warmth radiating from it, even before she touched it. She reached out and placed her hand lightly on one of its smooth, gleaming surfaces. A quiet warmth flowed into her hand, then up her arm, spreading across her chest and through her whole body. It was not the sharp heat of fire, nor the shiver of cold water. It was the warmth of a blanket, the warmth of being held kindly, the warmth of knowing you do not need to do anything at all. The Heartstone did not show her any images. It did not whisper words. It only soothed. Her shoulders relaxed further. Her breath, already slow, seemed to deepen even more. She could feel the steady pulse of the Heartstone's glow, matching the steady rhythm of her heart. For a long moment, or maybe many, she stood there with a hand on the crystal, eyes half closed, feeling every small tension melt and drift away. When she finally took her hand away, the moon kit was sitting at the edge of the clearing, watching patiently. It rose and trotted toward a new path that glowed faintly under the moonlight. Eris followed once more. This path led between low stone pillars, worn smooth by time. Each pillar held faint markings, runes that glowed with a gentle, muted light. The air here felt especially quiet, as if every sound that entered the space softened immediately and then faded. This was the sanctuary of still echoes. As Eris walked between the pillars, the runes brightened just a little in response to her presence. Her footsteps, despite her boots, made almost no sound. The soft swish of her cloak against the ground was barely there. At the center of the sanctuary, the stone floor widened into a flat circle bathed in moonlight. Lunar wisps hovered above it, drifting in sleepy spirals. The moon kit padded to one side of the circle, turned twice in place, and curled up. Eris stepped into the moonlit center. Here, stillness felt even deeper than before. Not empty, not lonely, just endlessly soft. She lowered herself slowly to the ground, then let her body sink back until she was lying on the smooth stone, looking up at the sky. The moon hung above, full and steady. Stars speckled the darkness around it. They did not flash or pierce the sky sharply. They glowed in a gentle, rhythmic way, like tiny lanterns breathing in and out. Her lantern sat near her side, dim now, its light almost merged with the moonlight everywhere. Eris felt the cool, solid stone beneath her. She felt the weight of her body resting completely on it, fully supported. She felt the cloak around her, soft and warm. She noticed her breathing. In and out. In and out. There was nothing she needed to remember. Nothing she needed to fix. Nothing she needed to decide. The journey had brought her exactly here, to this calm circle of stone and light. And here, she could finally allow herself to let go. Her eyelids grew heavy. The sanctuary seemed to lean closer around her, comforting and watchful. Somewhere, in the soft space between waking and sleep, she felt that quiet presence again. The valley's voice, or the moon's, or her own heart speaking gently. You are safe. You have come far enough. You can rest now. Just breathe. Just drift. Just sleep. Her body sank a little deeper into the stone, though she did not move. The lunar wisps floated slowly above, their light dimming and brightening in lazy pulses. The moon kit slept beside her, its tiny chest rising and falling with slow, steady breaths. The runes on the pillars glowed like soft stars at the edge of her vision. The Lunaris stream, somewhere in the distance, flowed calmly on, like a slow, continuous lullaby. Eris's thoughts, few and gentle, drifted apart like clouds at the end of a long day. Her breathing stayed slow. Her muscles remained loose. Her mind grew quiet. The sky above watched in silence. Moonbridge Valley held her in its arms of stone and grass and whispering leaves, as gently as a mother holding a sleeping child. And as her awareness slipped softly into dream, the valley seemed to breathe with in and out, in and out. The night went on. The moon continued its slow path. The stars hummed their soft, secret songs. Eris rested deeply and peacefully in the heart of Moonbridge Valley. And somewhere, far away yet very near to anyone who listened, the valley's quiet voice spoke into the stillness. You are safe. You are held. You may let go now. Sleep. 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 The words faded, not because they ended, but because they were no longer needed. There was only rest, only softness, only sleep.